I realized recently that the only reason I was signed up at LA Fitness was for the sauna. I mean, I work out and I like to move my body, but the main thing I really loved was the sauna. And now I have an at-home sauna, which I'm gonna get into in a second. Heat Healer hooked me up. But before we do, today I wanna share some breathing techniques and some helpful information about breathwork and sauna and how those two can be really good together. And if you didn't know, my name is Casey Michelle. I'm a breathwork facilitator / content creator. In order to reach more people, to share this content with more people, to get the word out there about the value of your breath, I need you to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed, and I need you to comment down below, when is the last time you were in a sauna? I feel like I'm gonna say the word sauna so much in this video that it's not gonna sound like a word by the end, but bear with me. So I want you to think about a sauna like it's a workout for your lungs. There is more air vapor typically in the air when you go into certain kind of saunas, making it harder to breathe in. That density or humidity of the air makes it feel like, oh my God, I can't breathe. But if you stick with it, humidity actually expands, and everybody should maybe know by now, maybe you don't, but heat helps to expel and expand, right? So when we have a fever, when we work out, when you're doing tumo breaths and you feel that heat, your body's literally heating up to expel. So the same thing's happening in a sauna, and you're literally expanding the airways in the body. The lungs are just like every other muscle, okay? So more and more you're consistent in that practice of conscious breathing, which I'm gonna get into how to do it, don't worry. In the sauna, you will realize that it gets a lot easier. I can't tell you how many times I've gone in the sauna and heard people like panting, and they're like, oh, this is just so hard, breathing in and out of their mouth. And I'm like, in my head, like, please, if you just closed your mouth, I promise it would be such a better experience. Saunas are not painful. They don't have to be at all. Saunas in general, there's been a ton of studies show that if you have respiratory issues or any kind of acute lung diseases, issues, whatever, that saunas help. They detoxify the body. That is what they are for. And conscious breathing, if we didn't know, removes 70% of toxins in your body. So you're already doing breath work, right? Maybe you're already practicing breath work, conscious breathing, and then you combine it with the sauna. You're like off the scale, okay? So these two together are really a detoxifying couple. But depending on what your sauna situation looks like, I just want to emphasize that breathing through your nose is always the best way to breathe. And a lot of people are like, this kind of hurts. It feels hot. It stings. But slow it down. I mean, extremely slow it down. Really, really feel every part of your inhale in through the nose and every part of your exhale, like completely exhale. Slowing down your nose-only breaths will make it a more meditative, relaxing experience, getting you out of maybe that fight or flight that the heat initially might cause, because your body's like, whoa, temperature change, we're in shock. The point is to kind of gain that control of your nervous system and get it back into a rest and digest. Now, if breathing out of your nose maybe feels like, nope, that's okay. I always encourage everyone to at least breathe in through the nose, and if you're gonna be in the sauna, trying out the cooling breath of breathing out of the mouth as if you're blowing through a straw. So just notice how long that was. I didn't go, what was that? It was nothing. I'm talking. And doing your best to practice just extending the overall breath. I think sometimes we think the breath is just the inhale, but it's definitely the exhale too. So completing an entire breath and enjoying every part of it. And again, creating just more of a meditative space. Now that being said, I have to talk about the sponsor of today's video, the Heat Healer. This is an infrared sauna blanket. So for the fraction of a cost to go to like a spa or whatever, you can have an infrared sauna blanket at home. You can burn calories, you can remove aches and pains, you can reduce inflammation. I mean, you can do all that right in your living room if you just lay down into this cozy ass blanket. It is the coolest thing in the world. It also has 96 jade and tourmaline, I think that's how you say it, tourmaline, stones in it. So those jade and tourmaline stones actually emit these negative ions. So, and if you didn't know, negative ions are basically these natural particles that are found in peaceful places like the ocean, waterfalls, rainforests. Even when you ground down and you're barefoot in the ground, that is you literally calming the body down with negative ions. Carbon fiber heating, EMF blocking technology, which is really cool, toxin-free materials, and it's been independently tested for safety and effectiveness. You think about maybe how much you spend monthly at a sauna or at a gym or wherever you maybe get your sauna on. I think this is like so cost efficient and again, so much easier because you don't have to go anywhere. You just put on some loose clothes, get up in that thing, get cozy, set it to the temperature you like. You can change it. You can go as long as an hour or maybe as short as 15 minutes and really create your own experience at home. Now, I will say, obviously, your head isn't covered on this sauna blanket, so your actual head doesn't feel maybe as hot as it would in a closed room sauna, right? But I will say you definitely still feel the heat. The lungs are still being worked out here. If anything, this is actually probably better for those who maybe feel like it's kind of hard to do breath work in a sauna. This is actually probably the solution to that. Still are detoxifying the body tremendously with that heat and those ions and taking those deep, big breaths and having more space to maybe do that really can allow you to have a more enjoyable experience than maybe you would at, like, again, your typical sauna. Breathwork with heat in general, even in a hot bathtub, is like really elevated. But sometimes it's just too much. It's just too much. I like having this option, being able to kind of like create my own experience in the safety of my house. And not only does Heat Healer have this amazing infrared sauna blanket, once I'm done that, I love to follow it up with some lymphatic drainage, some lymphatic massaging. The lymph is the only system in the body that basically doesn't have a pump, right? So our blood is pumped by our heart, but our lymph gets pumped when we get to move our body, when we do breath work, and when we use cool ass things like this tool. This lymphatic drainage tool is really cool because I've done like dry brushing and stuff, and I think that's really awesome too, to stimulate that movement of the blood in the body. But I really enjoy this one because it's, for one, not as rough as a dry brush. Sometimes a dry brush is like, ow. And it has so many different curvatures on it that you can kind of like change it wherever you're on your body. If you're not familiar with drainage massages or lymphatic massages, the lymphatic system is the sewer system of the body. So all of the wastes and toxins and things get filtered through that system. So you can literally feel like a little less bloated or a little less inflamed if you really spend a lot of time with your lymphatic tool. I'm not sure if I'm gonna say this right, but the actual stone is called Sibian Bion or Bion stone. And it's considered just a super sacred stone in the traditional Chinese medicine. If you have like a lot of water retention, or again, you feel really bloated, you even want to tone and tighten the skin, remove cellulite, help the immune system, like the list goes on and on and on for the benefits of this simple stone. So what I love in general about Heat Healer and their message, as well as my message that I'm always sharing, they feel really aligned because it's these really simple things. Breath is your superpower. Now add that with heat, and that superpower is even more elevated. Reduce the inflammation in the body and you can breathe even better. Like they all kind of go back to the basic thing of life, right? Breathing better, living better, breath is life. So these tools elevate your breath, ultimately elevating your life. Shout out to Heat Healer. I have a link in the bio if you are interested. I'm just so excited for winter. I just can't say it enough. I've never said that sentence, I don't think ever in my whole life. But knowing that I have this tool at home to keep me feeling good and warm and detoxified, because for me, I do a lot of like workouts outside when it's warm out. So when it gets cold, I'm like, oh, we're done working out. We're done sweating for the whole year. That doesn't have to be the case. We can still get our sweat on and reduce inflammation and take care of our bodies just by laying down in a blanket in my living room. If you guys have any more questions or curious about anything else when it comes to heat exposure or sauna exposure combined with conscious breathing, let me know in the comments, or in general, if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next video, peace.